There's an inconvenient biochemical truth that gets very little airtime in the ND plus supplement conversation, possibly because it complicates the narrative for every product in this category, not just the cheap ones. All ND plus precursors, regardless of their molecular sophistication or price point, produce nicotinamide as a downstream metabolic byproduct. And nicotinamide, at sufficient concentrations, inhibits the very sirtuin enzymes that ND plus supplementation is supposed to activate. This isn't a minor footnote. It's a built-in ceiling on the benefits of any ND plus precursor strategy, and understanding it changes how you should approach dosing and supplementation cycling. Here's the biochemical sequence. You take an ND plus precursor, niacin, NR, or NMEN. Your body converts it through various enzymatic steps and ultimately elevates cellular NAD+ levels. Sirtuins use NAD+ to perform their regulatory functions and in doing so produce nicotinamide as a reaction byproduct. Nicotinamide then feeds back to inhibit sirtuin activity, a classic negative feedback mechanism that prevents runaway enzyme activation. This is normal biology, not a malfunction. The problem arises at high supplemental doses. When you're flooding the system with ND+ precursors, you're generating more ND+ than the system would naturally produce, which means sirtuins are working harder and producing more nicotinamide as a byproduct. Beyond a certain concentration threshold, nicotinamide accumulation begins to suppress sirtuin activity meaningfully. The net effect is potentially self-defeating. Large doses of ND+ precursors may elevate ND+, while simultaneously generating enough nicotinamide to blunt the sirtuin activation that elevated NAD+ should theoretically produce. NMEN marketing has occasionally implied, without stating directly, that NMEN's pathway avoids this problem better than niacin does. The biochemistry doesn't support this. All three major precursors eventually produce nicotinamide. The rate at which they do may differ slightly based on pathway specifics, but the endpoint is the same for all of them. A practical management strategy involves two approaches. First, supplementation cycling, taking ND+ precursors for 2 to 3 weeks, then stopping for 1 week, allows the body to clear accumulated nicotinamide before resuming supplementation. Second, methylation support. Nicotinamide is cleared from the body primarily through methylation, the same biochemical pathway that processes homocysteine and other methylation substrates. Supporting this pathway with adequate B12, folate, and trimethylglycine helps clear nicotinamide more efficiently, potentially allowing higher ND+ maintenance with less sirtuin inhibition. This doesn't make NAD+ supplementation a futile exercise. But it does mean that more is not simply better, that higher doses carry diminishing and potentially counterproductive returns, and that cycling and supporting clearance pathways matters more than supplement marketing acknowledges. The person taking 1,000 milligrams of NMEN daily and assuming they're maximally activating their sirtuins may actually be doing no better, and possibly worse, than someone taking moderate niacin doses with methodical cycling.